Well, guys, thank you for being here. I know that you got a lot going on here at the first of school, and as always, we appreciate you getting on here to share. We have a guest speaker in here today for a few minutes, and it's just really great to see everyone. I say this all the time, but I'm gonna say it again. Thursdays are my favorite day of the week because or the month because I get to see you guys, and I really mean that. It's great being here. So let's see if I can share this amazing PowerPoint presentation. Miles, can you see the PowerPoint presentation? Is that up? Fantastic. You notice I got a new template? So here we are, September 7th, 2023. Again, all of these sessions will be recorded and posted onto the CTAT YouTube channel. So if for some reason you do not want your picture posted on a public social media platform, make sure that you turn off your public view and participate with audio only. Otherwise, your participation serves as consent to your picture being posted. Thank you. Again, just one more time, thank you all for being here because this is a chance where you get to help each other. And we really appreciate you taking this hour, this time out of your day. And if there's one thing that I've learned over the 30 years in CTAT, is that CTAT people, CTE people work together better than any other group. And we just really appreciate you guys and want you to know it. So this is season 4 of the Roundtable, which started during the COVID adventure, and we're really excited about it. Again, thank you for such a wonderful summer conference, and hope you're getting ready for the winter conference. It will be February 5th through the 7th in San Antonio. So get ready and start getting your presentations together for the midwinter conference. Today is September 7th, and probably the most famous birthday on September 7th is the great Buddy Holly, who traveled with the Crickets, and as well lost his life with the Big Bopper and Richie Valens in the plane crash. And this is what the song "The Day That Music Died" was written about. And so anytime we pay tribute to the great Buddy Holly, it's worth it. For you guys out in West Texas, make your way to Lubbock to see the Buddy Holly statue. I've got my picture taken with it somewhere on a phone. Also, if you've been paying attention this week, we lost Gil Brandt, who was a member of the old 70s Dallas Cowboys triumvirate. And, along with Tom Landry, Tex Schramm, Gil Brandt was there from the very beginning when Clinton Murchison and Mr. Wynn bought the team. And he died well into his 90s, and he brought us a lot of great teams, unlike the teams that we have now. When Gil and Tom and Tex Schramm were there, the Cowboys actually won games when you turned on the TV on Sunday. You didn't have to worry about it too often. And Gil Brandt was a big part of that. Again, these roundtables are all about working together. And like Neil deGrasse Tyson says, knowledge is on the way. We have these roundtables. Talk to you, if this is your first one, a little bit about our CTAT programming that we do. Starting in 2 weeks will be our first session with the 2023-2024 Next Gen administrators. And that's just been a fantastic group. It's for administrators with less than 5 years experience, typically is who we target. And if you'd like to join that group, certainly you can go to ctat.org or just shoot me an email and I'll send you the link to registration. It's a great group. I know just like I learn something during every roundtable, also I learned something during every Next Gen administrator group because they certainly have a great outlook on what's going on. Of course, we hold these roundtables monthly. We do professional development conferences, one in the fall and one in the spring. And beginning this October, we're going to start with regional teacher trainings. And we believe that being able to go to the teachers may make the professional development a little bit easier for them to get to rather than the summer when they're not on contract. So we're going to start out 1-day training. And also We're scheduled through December, but if you want a district program evaluation, you can shoot me an email at mark@ctat.org, and we'll get you scheduled for a evaluation. And yes, Bonnie, we are putting together, we have the task force for developing the curriculum, and then next week we will pick the trainers for the regional trainings and send that out to you. Again, if you're wanting to be in the next gen administrators, you can go to the CTAT.org. That is a beautiful graphic that Angie has made there. Just wonderful. She does a terrific job. You can scan that QR code, or you can go to the CTAT professional learning page at ctat.org and get on there and register. Also, there's the information on our regional new teacher training. This was the board of directors that came up with this idea, also with input from the area presidents as well. But the regional trainings have went so well with TASBO, then we're trying to get our feet wet and get grounded in providing regional professional development however it's needed. And our first attempt at this is going to be with new teachers. And I think it's going to be awesome, to be honest. We have a task force that's meeting to prepare the materials and the instruction that's going to be offered. And then we have a presentation team that we're putting together from the areas. And I promise you, we're going to have some high quality presenters. It's going to be full of area presidents and past CTAT board members, and it's going to be terrific. And it's going to cover programs of study, IBCs, lesson planning, CTSOs, classroom management, instructional delivery, whatever you can think of. And it's going to be directed at CTE people and taught by CTE people. And sometimes that's hard to come by. Most of the time when they get a training, it's just generic survival training that they get at the district. So we're really excited about this new teacher training. The first one is at the Houston Marriott in Sugar Land on October 4th. And then the second one will be at the Embassy Suites in Denton. We're trying to get both ends of the state to start, and starting in two big areas. And we'll go to any area. If we can get enough participation to make it break even, we'll go to any area in the state. So let us know if you have ideas, and if we can get the participation, we'll be there. So one in Houston, one in Denton. We're excited. Send your teachers. I promise you, it's going to be a valuable training. Also, don't forget that the finance and CTE joint academy that we do with TASBO, the Texas Association of Business Officials. The first one is going to be Wednesday, October 25th through the 26th. And as you can see, we have added curriculum to that. We're adding a section on PEIMS and adding a section on school-based businesses. And so we're super excited to be partnering with TASBO again. If nothing else, it's a great opportunity for a day for you to spend with your finance officer. So make sure that you get registered for that. There's going to be one in Denton and one in Round Rock in March. So those are the two that are planned. And if they are successful, we may move out. Last year, we did 6 of these. We went to everywhere from Brock, Texas to El Paso to Denton to Houston. We had 6 of them. And so they're super excited. There's going to be new content this year. And we appreciate you guys attending this. Also, Lindsay is kind of putting together through an idea that was the area presidents, a CTAT resource clearinghouse. And so what we're needing here is to get this clearinghouse or the resource clearinghouse built out. This will be a stable place where if a teacher leaves a district, then that resource doesn't go with them. This will be a stable place for districts to put their resources, their lessons that the teachers develop that we can share across the state. But we need content to put in there so we can get the resource Google Drive built out. So get with your teachers and give them the link and have them input some content in there. Tell them to put their best lessons in. We need the best of the best in this. Also, other breaking news, you've probably seen this on the mailouts. The State Board of Education has adopted the Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills, or the TEKS, for the occupational safety and health. And of course, those will be added to specific courses within career and technical education, as opposed to being a standalone course. Also, if you haven't seen this, this is taken directly from the 2023 Accountability Manual. You can see that this year, 2024 graduates have to have one course aligned in a program of study, which is level 2 or higher. And Rick has some information to share when we break out, but Rick got some clarification on this, is that there shouldn't be any courses that are level 1 in one program of study and level 2 in another anymore. They should be pretty much aligned. The 2025 graduates have to be concentrators, and the 2026 graduates have to be completers, probably. And even in the accountability manual, it says they're going to review this, and it could possibly stop at completers. But for right now, you need to plan on, on concentrators. Right now, you need to plan on those 26 graduates being completers. And as you all know, this has changed 4 or 5 different times and been in several points of revision. But this is the first actual printing that's in an accountability manual. I got this out of Chelsea and Lisa's newsletter, talking about the gateway courses going away. Of course, we talked about that extensively at the summer session. So if you try to use those old Project Lead the Way gate course service IDs, you're going to get fatal errors on your PEIMS data in October. Also, beginning this year, they will begin collecting the military assessment data. And in order to get that, then you're going to have to obtain a completed DD Form 4 enlistment from your students. So put a process in place now to start collecting that data from the students that are enlisting in the military. We talked about the new college and career exploration teams for the new college and career course for middle school. Those are posted, and you can also find the service ID numbers when you pull up the Texas Web Enabled Data Standards. Make sure that you're on the 2023-2024 school year. And once you change that, you'll have to click the open button, and then it'll pull up those new service ID codes. Again, I think the last time we talked about the Rangers being in first place. I think we even talked about, don't worry, they'll find a way to let you down if you're following the Rangers with me. Really love working with you guys. Thank you for being here, working together. I'm fixing to turn it over to Isaac Torres with the Make It movement. We had a great meeting with them at the summer conference at lunch. And Isaac, I'm going to let you explain what it is since you're here. And I do know that if there's one thing that we need to improve on in career tech, it is marketing, and that's your guys' expertise. So I'm going to hit the stop share button, and Isaac, let you take it over, buddy.
All right. Thank you so much, Mark. This means the world to us to be here with your group, such a large group. And to your point, we want to be that marketing piece. We want to be that co-designed, co-created, public, vocal champion of CTE programs, personnel, and of course, the students who are succeeding from those programs. We're led by Roy Spence, kind of a local icon in the marketing world behind Don't Mess with Texas, Aim High Air Force, and many others. And so the Make It movement is Roy's and our foray into the education sphere, specifically into the college and career space, wherein we want to help the next generation and future generations know what high skill, high income careers are that oftentimes don't require a 4-year degree. We've told ourselves this mantra since at least No Child Left Behind, probably since before then, saying everybody to college for all, 4-year university or nothing. And we don't dissuade people from that. We just say, hey, go higher learning, higher earning. But there's an entire kind of collective populace that simply doesn't know the value of CTE education, the value of PTech programs, or how kind of expedited a young person's pathway might be from, say, ninth grade when they make that endorsement choice until graduation and they step their foot on the work site or into some new company. So that's what we want to do as a marketing effort. We're a nonprofit based in Austin, and we want to partner with CTAT and CTE personnel and programs across the state and really become that public vocal champion of everything you all are doing. I have about 10 slides. I'm going to run through them because I don't want to waste a lot of time. And a lot of this stuff you all know, you have internalized it in your work over the years. But the truth is that in our economy, there's a need for this awareness. There's a need for messaging, marketing, speaking directly to students who are either not interested in a four-year pathway or who are either on track to graduate but don't have a plan. There's things they can do while they're in school, CTE courses and programs of study that they can enroll in. They can adhere to a very kind of clear pathway along the way. Even, some of the recent House bills that have kind of adapted some of those pathways for specific career trajectories and programs of study. How can we, as a marketing voice, share that and re-educate ourselves and students and parents about these opportunities that they can leverage while they're in school? And we want to become the major supporters of CTE programs and personnel across Texas first, and then across the country. Soon you'll be seeing, and these are in Central Texas right now, but we want to expand this across the state. We want to include your students. We want to include your success stories. This is Dylan Zamaron from Elgin High School, who recently graduated on time with a diploma, an associate's degree, a professional license. He's making good money. He is on his way. He's a young man, and he is on his way to wonderful things, and he's doing something that he loves to do. We want to highlight real students that are graduating from these programs of study and entering into real high skill, high income careers within growth industries. So that's just the outside billboard piece. And I'm happy to respond to any of this stuff either now, or if you want to reach out to me offline. I've included my email and my name. It's itorres@makeitmovement.org. We do have a few initiatives that we really want you all to kind of adopt and to register for and to roll out on your campuses. Firstly, we're doing what is called Make It in Texas Week. So this is October 2nd through 6th, where we want to support school districts, specifically middle schools and high school campuses, who want to explore the concept of high skill, high income careers, CTE programs of study, and the like with their students. So we've kind of lined out 4 days of activities and discussions, and we'll be providing a toolkit for all of our partner districts and for all of you all very soon, hopefully by Monday, in fact. And so the thought is that maybe on Monday, on campus, you have activities and discussions about what are their gifts, what are their talents, what do young people know that they're good at, and how can they think in terms of their future and how bright it can be. Tuesday, what do you love to do? What are you very passionate about? What drives you? What burns inside of you? Wednesday, how can you make it in Texas? What's available? What are the growth industries, and what are those high skill, high income career pathways that students can begin right on their campus today? Thursday, start right now while you're in school, highlighting there's CTE, there's PTech. Talk to your school counselor, talk to other peers who are already in those programs. It's a way to build up the discussion and the activities around what's coming on Friday, which is a live stream event from Dallas Cowboy Stadium. This is in partnership with our friends at Y Texas, who are holding this Y Texas Summit, which is kind of business and industry centered thing. But we bring the education piece, we bring the students, and we're going to broadcast a 30-minute live stream on Friday, October 6th from 10:30 a.m. until 11 a.m. And we want campuses all across Texas to register for it and to host this live stream specifically with their CTE students. Great. All of the student body would be lovely, but we would love for, young people who are in that CTE curricula to see this and to feel kind of charge that they're a part of something big, a critical mass, a movement, in fact, that's gaining traction and momentum as we go forward. So that's just a 30-minute live stream. And by the way, that's the day prior to the UT-OU game on Saturday. So, you know, it's a bit of a holy day, if you will. And so we're really trying to knock it out the park and make people feel really engaged along the entire Make It in Texas week, culminating with this 30-minute live stream on Friday. And I'm happy to reach out to folks or to respond to folks offline if they want more details. So again, it'll be focused. Yes, sir.
Hey, I really hate to butt in here, but will this be recorded where they could go on YouTube, or will there be a Vimeo link or something where they can show it to all their class periods if they're not in that particular period at the time?
Absolutely. And in fact, some schools don't even have school that day. It's also National Manufacturing Day, if I'm correct. And so there's some overlap, which we want to leverage. We want to highlight manufacturing as well. But yes, Mark, we will have the video available with links so folks can show it later. They can watch it, rewatch it. But we do want as many campuses as we can participating live.
We'll send those links out for you when you get them, if you want us to.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you so much for that. So this is the thought, you know, with CTE leaders, with CTE coordinators, directors, instructors, students, and parents. We as the Make It movement want to use marketing as a force for good. We really want to raise up the next generation and future generations to know what they don't know about these high skill, high income career pathways that lead to real careers and real opportunities right where they live. Again, the thought is through marketing, we inspire them, we include them, we enlighten them. They feel like they're part of something big, and they are. And as we gain momentum and we kind of test it over the next few months here in Central Texas, we want to take our playbook and we want to replicate it in the Valley, in El Paso, and the Metroplex, in Houston, and then beyond Texas. So this is the kind of long-term vision that we have to raise up, to support, to highlight, to become the kind of vocal public champions of all things CTE. So I'm going to stop there, and I'm happy to respond to any questions at all. And I should say that if you haven't visited our website, makeitmovement.org, I encourage you to do that. You can learn more about the organization there. But we would really love for all of your campuses, all of your districts and middle school and high school campuses to register for this live stream.
Does anyone have any questions for Mr. Torres?
Hey, Mark, I was just going to echo what Isaac was saying. I've been fortunate enough to be part of the CT Alliance group along with the Make It movement here. And what they're doing, folks, is really put some great marketing behind the messaging for CTE. So I know, Isaac, you probably sold yourself a little bit short going quickly through that presentation, but they've done a tremendous amount of work behind this movement. And if you can get to that website and get your kiddos signed up, you'll see that some real good benefits from that. And some of the details we're still working through as far as getting that information back to you at your campus level. But I think there's going to be a lot of good things to come out of it. And if you're in the Metroplex for that October 6th event there at that Jerry World at Cowboys Stadium, look at your workforce development group to sign up for that event. We're limited to bringing 5 students to that just because of the sheer number of students going to be in attendance. But Isaac, thanks for being here, and everybody on this call, I'd implore you to look at that website.
Thank you,
for
Paul.
that, Paul. Yeah,
hey,
for sure.
Isaac, and going along with what Paul says, there's been commercials and a lot of TV airtime in the San Antonio region. I remember, I think Miss Massey was telling me they see that already on TV down there, and it's pretty well established in that area. Is that correct?
I believe so, yes. I think that's probably the limit of our reach is San Antonio. Our kind of geography is a 12-county kind of footprint, but our Make It spots, I believe, have ran down there in San Antonio area, yes.
Isaac, Grant Irmus is an overachiever, and you can see he's got his hand raised there.
Wonderful.
What you got, Grant?
We got 176 people here. I didn't want to jump all over everybody and upset somebody, so I figured I'd raise my hand, but thank you. Well, Isaac, thank you. I actually attended the workshop that y'all had this summer, and it was great, and I appreciate all the information and being here. My question is if there's going to be any follow-up during February. We all know that's CTE month, so I know that we've got this happening in October, but just curious about any follow-up from the Make It movement in that month specifically.
Absolutely. In fact, we want to explore the, and it's kind of connecting with what Paul said in the CTE Alliance, we want to include CTE personnel at every level to kind of inform our design and our model. So as we do outreach, we want to connect with campuses per that, the latest requirement from TEA for middle schools to do the thing. We want to connect with middle schools and help them with their career exploration. We want to do that at high schools too. How does that look in February at each campus? I don't exactly know, but we're happy to explore that with you. We've done in the past, we've done lunch and learns for teachers, professional development, other kind of professional development for staff, any kind of staff, teachers, front office staff, counselors, etc. We can do activities. We've done campus-wide activations for students specifically, where we show them the website. We collect a little bit of data. It's kind of a rah, happy, amped up feel. We usually bring in Saul Paul, who's this Grammy-nominated artist, but we're adaptable in that. So we can do a lot of things in CTE month, and we want to. So as we roll out these next few months up to the live stream, the Cowboy Stadium date, etc., we'll be following through with all of our partners and all of the kind of networks across the state to gain feedback, to collect a little bit of data, and to say, okay, what's next? How can we connect with your campus, with your students? What do you need, and how can we support you? And lastly, I'll say this: oftentimes, as you all know, school districts or campuses either don't have the marketing resources, or maybe there's somebody not as skilled to do that work, and so it just gets done. But we want to really lean into our expertise with your input, with your co-design, and provide exactly what you need as far as messaging and marketing.
Thank you. Yeah, Grant, what a great idea, incorporating their marketing skills with CTE month. That'd be a great fit. And Isaac, do you have a link that you can post into the chat for the registration?
I do. Just give me 1 second. I'll pull it right up.
Isaac, while you're pulling up that link, I was curious about the resources. I think you mentioned that you're going to provide resources for like that week long of to have a week long of activities. Is that what I heard?
Yes, we'll be providing a toolkit, and where it's kind of being generated right now, suggesting exactly like what we think, are good ideas. It's going to iterate differently for each campus, obviously, but yes. And I would say we'll have that probably by Tuesday, this next Tuesday at the latest.
And will that just be posted on your website, or will you maybe push that to Mark and he could push it out to all of us as a group, or how is that going to be shared?
Great question. We're in the process of putting something on our website that anybody can access for Make It in Texas weekend to register for the live stream, and we'll be disseminating the same information through our channels. And Mark, if you all are willing to share that out, we'd love to pass that through you for sure.
We for sure would. We appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Isaac? Isaac, we sure appreciate what you guys are doing. And I think Paul's testimony there, he speaks for several in the group that have been working with you guys all along. And thank you so much. And we appreciate the thought and the effort. And I think it's really going to pay dividends in the long run.
Thank you. I agree. And we can't thank you all enough. Again, your support and your vision and your co-design means everything to us. We can't do it without you. So thank you.
And you're more than welcome to hang around and listen to the open discussion too.
Thank you for that. I'm going to have to tap out here in 1 minute, but thank you. I really appreciate it.
Very good.
Thank you for
joining us. Okay, appreciate the guys from the Make It movement there. I really think that marketing is something that we really could take advantage of. If you haven't looked at their website, look at it. It's kind of trades and industrial focused at the time. And but it is certainly a big step in the right direction, and it's something that the legislatures have been pushing as well. They really, the state legislators are really focusing on the trades and industrial programs, and so this Make It movement might have hit CTE at just the right time. Okay, it's open for general discussion. What do we got going?
Hey, Mark, this is Renee Martinez in Comal ISD.
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to put this out to the group. If anybody else, we asked our teachers, and we have a lot this year, to complete that work-based learning and that science and math training on the Teal platform. And we had some complete it, and then we got a call this morning that it says it's closed, that the training is closed. And so I pulled it up, and sure enough, it says enrollment has closed for this course. And then someone else went in through Texas CTE, and it said the course will be available on the 8th. Does anybody know what's going on, or has anything changed?
Well, I texted Marset, got back with me almost immediately, and she said that it was a technical issue and that it would be reopened again by the end of business tomorrow.
Perfect. Okay.
And so
Okay.
I hope that's the case. I've been kind of telling everybody Monday.
Hey, buddy.
Okay. I just thought I would bring it up. I mean, we were rolling fine, and then all of a sudden this morning we got a call, and I was like, well, that's crazy. So anyway, just curious.
Yeah, it was according to Marcette, it was just a straight up technical issue.
Perfect.
Mark, the other question I had, and this is Amanda from Socorro ISD, on the TEACs, the law enforcement, criminal justice TEACs are no longer showing up.
That's what we were talking about. Now, what are they giving them?
Oh, Mr. McKee,
$1,200,
I think you're Mike. Oh, there he goes. Okay, sorry.
He's not wearing his big headphones, so he's I don't think he can hear himself talking.
No, that's okay. Yeah, so the law enforcement criminal justice TEACs are no longer showing under Chapter 130. I don't know if you guys have heard anything about. Let's look.
Yeah, they've probably been up. You know, they're moving all of the TEACs.
Oh, yes, they are.
Yeah.
And they have them under M now. Huh.
Yeah. So everything will eventually be moved to 127 as they're updated.
Perfect. Thank you.
You betcha.
Mark, I'll follow up on what you were talking about earlier with BIM 1. I know we had conversation a couple of years ago, and I recall the statement being made that if it's a level 2 one place, it's somewhere it's a level 2 everywhere. And I know for us, I was kind of banking on, okay, I have students who have previously passed the Microsoft Word certification in a BIM class. That's the only business class they took, but because it was a level 2 in health informatics, it's a level 2 somewhere, it's a level 2 everywhere. I got clarification yesterday from Lacey Freeman that they have gone through, and the framework documents may not all have been updated and corrected, but BIM 1 is a level 1 class in all programs of study now, including health informatics. And that's how it will be viewed in terms of IBCs for the class of 2024. And so if you have students who have passed Microsoft Word, taking BIM, they haven't taken business management or business law, one of the advanced marketing classes, that student no longer meets accountability for CCMR. And that was, she included a framework, some lookup tables that apparently they're going to be releasing in the future, but are not out there yet. The other piece was that they alluded to that being because the course was aligned based on the level of rigor and background knowledge for students to be successful is why BIM 1 is a level 1 course. Even though in many of our districts, not ours, but I know many districts do, actually teach that course for dual credit and align it with the, I think it's 1301, Mark said,
That's right.
course at a lot of community colleges. So apparently, even though it's a dual credit class, it doesn't meet the rigor of a level 2 class.
Well, I think that's a great point, Rick. And BIM's always kind of been a funny one. It used to be called beginning. And they always some districts would want to give it lower grade points because it said the word beginning. And so it's kind of always been an odd one. And I think that's going to be impactful on some districts if that doesn't count as the level 2 course.
Hey, Mark, you got me?
Yeah, got you.
Hey, this
How's
is Eric
Austin?
Beard. Doing wonderful. So just to piggyback up the last gentleman's remarks, another thing that we found out in particular for us, because we were with ACC, is that that they require, in order to get that credit, part of their requirement is they receive their MOS specialist. Well, now the MOS specialist is going away. We're going to have to reach back out. I don't know how the other school districts are doing in regards to their partnerships with their higher level educations, but we're going to have to reach out because MOS specialist is going away. So it's kind of mute for us to go purchase something that is not going to be valid and really help our students out, in particular with ADAP accountability. So you guys might want to look at your agreements with your universities and see if that was one of the things that is in there and have that conversation with them.
And help me if I'm wrong here, but this year seniors can still use the specialist. Is that correct?
That is
Because
correct. This is
it's
the last group.
sunsetted.
Yeah,
Right.
This is the last group.
Sammy's asking if they published that BIM will not be a level 2 course yet. And I think the only place I've seen it published is in an email Rick received. But it should be when they post the new program of study. If you noticed, all of those spreadsheets are taken down right now. As they post those alignments, they should be corrected in there. It won't impact funding because level 1 and level 2 funding is the same, but it'll impact accountability. Rick, do you know if it's printed anywhere? Sammy wants to know.
I answered to Sammy, and in her email to me, it literally said, TEA anticipates publishing the CTE lookup tables in the near future. So like the accountability manual, it's coming.
And the lookup tables are in the web-enabled data standards. You'll just have to find the correct table in there. Anyone else have a comment about the BIM course or anything else accountability related, I guess?
Mark, this is Larkin in Humble ISD. I just one accountability thing that we came across at the beginning of the school year. I don't know if all of you do, but we deal a lot with our JRTC, our military. We have responsibility for them in our department. And one of the things that we found is that we had a significant number of kids, and significant number, 10 to 15 kids this last year who received military scholarships and who have gone on to college on a military scholarship with commitment to join the military, who will not be receiving a DD Form 4 until they actually enlist post-college. So that they are on a military scholarship. They've agreed to do that, but they won't account for us accountability until, well, if we follow them for the 4 years and they graduate and then they actually enlist then. I emailed TEA about it. There's no current way to track those or to account for those kids who go to college on a military scholarship. But just another, I guess, hole, I would say, and I know we don't at CTAT necessarily advocate a lot, but they're kind of our stepchild. So just a thought I'd bring up.
What a great achievement by those kids, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully they're earning that point. From a district standpoint, hopefully they're earning that point another way if they're earning that scholarship.
I looked at our kids, most are. However, there are ones who go straight JRTC, their whole high school. That's what they put their effort into. And then they go on for a scholarship because of their leadership roles in JRTC, and haven't gotten the point elsewhere.
Bonnie, I think Sammy answered your question. BIM was level 1 in some programs of study like business management, and level 2 in others like health informatics. And so if it was a level 2, instead of rounding it up, from what Rick's email said, and is that they're going to round it down, but it is not being added to all programs of study.
And Catherine, on your question, the student can earn the IBC in any course, but they have to take a level 2 course in the aligned program of study with that industry-based certification in order for it to count towards accountability. So for example, you mentioned NCCR. We offer core in both our entry-level construction and ag mech program. That's great. The students can get that, but if they don't take the next class, the level 2 class, it is not going to count towards accountability.
And I don't want to speak for TEA, but I think the thought behind that is they really don't want these students earning these IBCs when they're freshmen and sophomores. They're really wanting to push it, especially freshmen. They're wanting to push it up into the classes because I think the thought is that these IBCs run out of date, shelf life after 4 years. Fantastic. Thank you, Larkin, for that info. That's pretty good knowledge. Anybody else have an accountability issue they want to bring up? Miles, are you still there? Good picture. Mr. McClure texted me and wanted to know where you got that chair. He's wanting one like it. I think Miles bugged out. What else do you guys have today?
Mark, I know a hot topic for our Gulf Coast CTE group last Friday was the SAW and the 45-minute rule. Do you have any insight on that? About how we should proceed with that to kind of advocate for ourselves? Is it, in your opinion, kind of a done deal, or?
I was talking to someone today. Some of the service centers are sending that information out, and just as a heads up, but I'm hesitant to send that information out until it actually gets into the SAW, because of what we saw with the 8,100 minutes. When that got to TEA legal, it was killed. It would died at TEA legal, the 8,100 minute rule. And according to what Marcetta shared with us, is that this has not gone through TEA legal yet. And so my gut feeling is that it's 50-50, but I would have in the back of my head a plan to come up with to make sure that all of your classes meet 45 minutes if you have a pep rally schedule. This may also be one of those things that's better discussed during the Slack after the recording goes off too. But to answer your question straight up, it's not in the SAW yet, and until it gets in the SAW, it's not law. See how I made that rhyme there, Lisa?
I saw that.
Feel free to use that.
All right. Next time we karaoke, I'll do that.
What else? Lisa, you might want to chime in on that if you guys Coleman's asking, when is it typically proposed to approve? We usually, it used to, the SAW would come out in March. Now it always comes out in August. So this would be definitely a one-off as far as changing it this time of year.
Although a couple of years ago, Mark, they made changes to it in December. And
yeah,
that's when they
added
the special ed teachers could teach some of the work-based learning.
Yeah, which was through the SBOE kind of added that, and that was really to help districts as opposed to get them. But a great analogy. Robin, did you blink in there? Yeah. Like, Robin, if you're talking, we can't hear you. Do some of you other guys have thoughts on the 45 minutes?
I thought you wanted us to save that till after the
Yeah,
recording.
let's do that. Okay, what other topics do we have? This has been a great discussion so far. What do you guys, what's your thoughts on the regional teacher training off the top of your head? Is that something you guys think will be successful in the long run, or should we be trying to offer it another way? Well, if you guys don't have anything else, okay, great. Thanks for that feedback. We're excited about it, and I know that we're excited about being able to go to the different regions. Angie and Leslie have put in a ton of work as far as getting the facilities ready. I think it's going to be first rate to the teachers as far as the facilities, and we're going to try to feed them a good lunch, and hopefully they'll benefit from it.
Can
Okay.
you share a little bit more about what the new teachers will get in that day for the new PD?
And we're developing the curriculum right now as far as we're going to have a task force do those presentations, but it's going to be IBCs, programs of study, where to find your TEKS, how to use your TEKS, how to develop a lesson plan, how to establish a CTSO, some instructional delivery skills that new, especially trades and industrial teachers just don't have. And my personal thought on it is there's not a single teacher that you have in your district that doesn't have the technical knowledge to succeed in what they're teaching, but those instructional skills and classroom management skills is really what they lack. So we're going to give them the basics of what what CTE is about and how to function as a CTE teacher. And also we're going to hit instructional delivery and classroom management pretty hard, because I think they need those skills the most.
I think that's a good topic, especially for teachers that come out of industry.
Yeah. Thank you, Ms. Smith. I hope so. Heather, did you have a suggestion, a thought?
No, we were just thinking about the group of new teachers that we have this year and, you know, who might be best fit to go to that. And so it was just, Ashley and I were just talking in my office and trying to figure out a little bit more about what they were going to offer before we decided who we might want to send.
Yeah. Now, I get that it's new, and we're going to be learning from this as well. So hopefully your teachers take it away. We're going to have some documents that they can take away with them, some lesson plan templates, some IBC evaluation templates, some IBC reporting templates. So we'll have some good documents they can use. And I know that it's hard to do, but hopefully when we put our presenters finally together, we're trying to find an inspirational group, because we really want these teachers to want to be good educators as to want to be a good mechanic. We want to have that same amount of passion for being a good educator.
One thing I was thinking about is, you know, we have some CTE teachers that don't have the opportunity to get the alternative cert, like at the Region Center. So they'll get those online only certs. And in my experience, it's been pretty difficult for them transitioning from industry to classroom if they don't have any face-to-face or any kind of resource.
Well, in addition to that, Ms. Smith, they're coming in on a DOI and they may not even have that. So there's definitely a need out there. We're just trying to figure out the best way to deliver the message. And so getting those teachers to come to summer conference is an expensive task if you're trying to send a group of teachers. But hopefully, if we're trying to go to them, hopefully that'll make it easier on you guys and easier on the teacher. But it's a lot of information to cram into one day. The CTSO people have also, yes, Jeff, we can for sure provide the CEUs, the continuing education unit, and they will leave there with a certificate. Thanks for bringing that up, Jeff. And the first one is October 4th. That's in Sugar Land. And then the second one that's in Denton is on, I had that in my presentation. Let's see.
October 10th.
October 10th. Why would I have that at the top of my head? Yes, Ms. Baird, we'll send out the links to both of those. And they're also in the CTAT chat. And we're also sending those out weekly. Angie's sending those out through CTAT dispatches. Okay. If no one has anything else for the group, I'm going to go ahead and stop recording and we'll move on into the Slack. And thank you guys for all being here. Really appreciate you taking this time out of your day. It's meaningful. And thank you guys a lot. And we'll see you next month.